Dan Dickau, Scorebook Live, Washington, with the recap for Yakima at the 1A and 2A levels for the Hardwood Classic, played at the Yakima Sun Dome. Very exciting venue for a number of reasons. At the 2A level, North Kitsap, Scott Ornis and his group got it done. They got off to a tremendous start this season, had a little bit of a lull right when the playoffs were starting to kick into gear, but they found another level during the state tournament, led by Shea Humphrey, who was named MVP, Jonas Latour, another young, versatile guard to keep an eye out on. They were able to pick up their first state title victory, championship, over a really good Clarkston team. Clarkston was led by True Allen throughout the season, the lefty point guard, very shifty, did a tremendous job getting them all the way to the state tournament championship game, but unfortunately for Clarkston, they couldn't get over the hump. North Kitsap with the championship. It's going to be interesting to see at the 2A level a season from now. Will North Kitsap be able to defend that title? Will Sela with Noah Pepper be able to challenge, who had a number of tremendous individual performances throughout the year? Will Linden, who always seems to be in the conversation of a state title contender, will they be able to get back and make that jump to play at that level a season from now? Will Mark Morris be at the state tournament, something that has become a staple in the past? Will they be able to get back? Will Tumwater continue to improve under Coach Josh Wilson? It's hard to say. It will be interesting to find out over the course of the summer how these teams and players improve, and if North Kitsap can repeat at the 2A level. Now we move on to the 1A level, and I mentioned at the 3A level that it was a very fun and unique tournament to watch. It was very evenly matched, a lot of that because of being 4 teams from the Seattle Metro in the Final Four. But I think really when you look at it, 1A might have been the most exciting state tournament in Yakima, and I think a lot of it starts with the fact that what could have been the state title game was played in the first round at the state tournament. A lot of it was due to RPI, a lot of it was due to unfortunate losses at the wrong time for each of these teams, but Kings and Zilla matched up in that first round, and Zilla, who was number 1 in the coaches poll for much of the year, unfortunately got the short end of the stick as Kings ended up getting that first round victory. But Zilla had a tremendous season. I look for them under Coach Mario Mengarelli to get back and ready for next season. They're a tremendous program at that level, led by Mason Landeck, who should have a good summer and should be ready to help them compete at the state tournament level a season from now. But Kings was able to move on in a tremendous first-round victory as they were able to move through the state tournament. A couple other things that really caught my eye in the state tournament as we talk about Kings is the fact that they were 19-10 to finish the season. So if you look at it, 15-10 going into the state tournament, their record didn't really impress you, jump out at the page at you. They weren't getting a lot of votes in the coaches poll, a lot of it due to their record. But when you look at their record, it's very misleading and deceiving because they played maybe the most difficult schedule of any team at the 1A, 2A level. And the reason why is when you look at their early season schedule, they played against Glacier Peak, who was a 4A state semifinalist, and lost. They played Tumwater, 2A team in the final state tournament. They played Linden, a 2A state tournament competitor. They played La Center and Kingsway as well, who made the state tournament at their classification. But they also played Mount Si, the 4A title winner, and they played them tough. All of these battles prepared them for 4 games in 4 days at the state tournament, and it ended up in a Kings victory over Linden Christian, where Tyler Linhart was named MVP in a couple truly dominant performances. It'll be fun to watch him as his high school career really picks up, where his recruitment goes, and what he's going to look like as a player over the next 2 years. A couple the other really interesting storylines that we got to watch at the state tournament in Yakima for the 1A level was La Center. They play a fast, unique style of basketball under Coach Jeremy Eklund. But we had a chance to watch his son, Hunter Eklund, for the last time. La Center's all-time scoring and assist leader. His main goal was to get La Center back to the state tournament as a senior. They did that. and he finished off a tremendous high school career. Kingsway down in Vancouver continues to become a dominant program at the 1A level under David Harmeling. They got back to the state tournament. They lose a couple seniors, but they've got a really nice point guard returning next season in Bryson Metz. You look at Seattle Academy and Coach Sean Burrell. They've got a really nice point guard and a young nucleus of players who are sophomores this year, will be juniors next year. Leo DeBrul, their point guard, I think has a chance to be a really, really good player, not just at the 1A level, but in Washington high school basketball as well. But Linden Christian, Roger DeBoer, another tremendous job getting Linden Christian all the way back to the state tournament, but all the way to the state title game. They lost a big-time player a season ago in Cole Badgema, who's now at the University of Michigan. And in talking to Coach early in the season, he knew there was going to be some ups and downs, some struggles, especially early because they had a lot of multi-sport athletes, kids who were playing football. But he really liked the makeup of this group. And he said, I really look forward to seeing how this group develops, how they grow. He didn't want to go so far as to say he had something special on his hands, but he did say he really liked the group. So, Coach, you did a tremendous job getting them to exceed expectations and play up to their potential. But in the end, it was all Kings at the state tournament. 4 wins in 4 days against some really good teams. And again, are we at the start of a dynasty at the 1A level with Kings, with Tyler Linhart, with Jordan Hansen? For Coach Rick Skeen, that's the question that I'm sure he's going to be asked a lot. For Yakima and the 1A State Tournament Hardwood Classic wrap-up, I'm Dan Dickau for Scorebook Live Washington.